Hello, welcome to Stretch Series Workout or Stretch 1 of 2. We are going to start nice and tall today. We're going to start with our head. We're just going to bring it over to one side, nice and gentle. I would put on some soothing music. I'll link a playlist that you can listen to if you'd like, or you can choose whatever you enjoy listening to. Something relaxing, and just focus on your breath and releasing any tension you're holding in the body. Let's switch sides. Gentle pull, and I'm actively pressing this shoulder down away from that ear, feeling that nice stretch in my neck, my trap, my shoulder. Let's stay there for 3, 2, 1, and then just give me some head circles in alternating directions. So nice, slow and controlled. Once you get all the way around, just reverse it, go all the way back. One more each way. From this last one, let's go into some little shoulder rolls, just little shoulder rolls back like you're massaging that upper body. Couple more. And from this one, let's do some big circles. So we're going to do a mix in this of some static stretching and some dynamic stretching just to loosen up the body. And from this one, let's do a shoulder stretch. One arm across your body, give it a nice big pull, keeping that arm really straight. Shoulder stays down away from the ear. If you did the workouts this week, they were tough. So stretch it out. Let's switch sides. And you can come back to these stretch series anytime that your body needs it, where you can take just some of the stretches that we're going to do and incorporate them if you're feeling sore in particular areas. From this one, let's go into some open and hugs, just like we do in our warm-up. Releasing any tension in the chest and the back. And a few more. And from this one, let's go a little wider in our stance, and let's take a nice big side bend. So a big reach over, feeling that stretch in your oblique. Side bends are amazing for the back as well. Let's come all the way over. See if you can grab onto the opposite foot. If you want to feel a bit more of that back, push the opposite hip out. And let's come to the center, even out those hips. And then give me a gentle bend in the knees and roll up. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So starting with that side bend, big reach over, feeling that stretch in your oblique, the sides of your abs. And your back, and then we'll come all the way over. See if we can grab onto that opposite foot. Feeling a nice stretch from this shoulder all the way down to this hip, and then right into the center, evening out those hips. And bending the knees and rolling on up. Let's take some upper body circles. So we're just gonna bend to the side, come forward, over to the other side and up, and then just reverse it. Swing around and keep switching side to side, loosening up your back and your hips. And from this one, let's take the feet together, and we're just going to do some hamstring rolls. So I'm going to have you roll every inch down all the way as far as you can, feeling a nice hamstring stretch, and then roll it on back up. Let's do one more. Rolling it down, and then let's stay here. Feel that stretch in those hamstrings. If you want to make the stretch deeper, you could always grab the backs of your heels or your legs and pull yourself in. Stay there. I'm just going to scoot forward so I have some space. And from this one, let's step back into a deep lunge. So front knee is bent, back leg is straight, shin is straight up and down, focusing on dropping the hip and reaching through that back heel. Let's take the arm and twist towards that front leg, just like we do in our warm-up, but we're just gonna hold it. Keep that hip dropping, keep rotating, and then let's take both hands up into a reach upward, still holding that reach. And let's come back down, and let's gently bend this back knee, relax the foot, and push forward into that stretch. If you need to make it deeper, just walk the front foot a little more forward. One more breath. And then come up a little bit higher if you can, if that feels okay. And we're gonna add a side bend. So let's do a big reach over towards that front leg. Now we can feel that back hip even more. And then we're gonna come back to neutral, and we're gonna try to straighten this front leg. So try to straighten it out as much as you can. Pop up on the heel, toe comes towards you. Pull yourself down towards that leg. Feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring, a little bit in the calf. And then we're gonna take this knee back, and we're gonna go into child's pose. Don't worry, we'll get the other side in, but we're just gonna come down into child's pose, pressing those hands into the floor, forehead into the floor, taking a nice deep breath. From here, let's walk both hands over to one side, feeling that opposite shoulder, that oblique, staying there for a breath, and then walking on over to the other side. Same thing, so plant those hands in, feel that nice big stretch in the opposite side, taking a breath, coming back to the center, and up to all fours. We're gonna go into downward dog, so just tuck the toes under, reach through those heels, feel that stretch all along the back of the legs. And we're gonna step forward with the other leg. So deep lunge, whatever side you haven't done yet. Just starting with that regular deep lunge, front knee bend, back leg straight, dropping the hips, reaching through that back heel. And then take that arm, same arm as front leg, and give me a nice big twist towards that front leg. And then we'll take both hands up into a big reach up. And then we'll come back down, and we'll bend that back knee, relax the foot, and push forward. If we need to adjust, we're gonna push that front foot a little more forward. We wanna feel this back hip and quad. And then we'll come up a little bit higher if that feels comfy. And we'll add our side bend towards that front leg. Big reach over. And then we're gonna come back to neutral, and we're gonna try to straighten out this front knee. Pop up on the heel if we can, and pull ourselves in towards that leg if we can. Big hamstring stretch. Stay there for another breath, get a little bit closer. And then let's come into a frog sit. So we're actually gonna be on like our hands and our knees, walk your knees out nice and far, and then push the hips back. So we're not trying to sit, we're trying to push the hips back. I'm gonna go from the side now, you can see where my knees are. So I'm trying to push my butt back a little bit so I can feel like an amazing inner thigh and hip stretch. And you can hang out, you can come down if you'd like, if that's comfier. And from this, let's go into pigeon. So we're just gonna take one knee forward, back leg is straight, and you can either sit down like I am, or you can lay down. As long as you feel that front glute and that front hip, you're good. And if this feels like too much, you can do a gentle bend in the back knee. You can kind of rotate the hips open a little bit as needed, and then you'll just slowly and gradually try to get those hips forward. In 5 seconds, we're gonna switch to the other side. Let's switch it. So I just tuck that back to under to make some space, and I walk the other foot forward, front knee bent, back leg straight, trying to find that stretch. Often if you're having low back pain, stretching out the glutes can help. Side bends, like I said at the beginning, are really good for low back pain, especially if it's on one side. You can kind of target it with a side bend. In 3, 2, 1, let's come back to all fours, hands and knees. We're gonna do a wrist stretch. So let's take the fingertips back towards you, and we're just gonna lean back, stretching out the wrists, the forearms. And then let's take the hands back forward, and we're gonna thread the needle. So we're on all fours, and I'm just gonna take one arm under, tap the back of the shoulder down, feel that stretch for a second, but then I'm gonna open it up, and I'm gonna twist away from the bottom. Then back, same side, bringing the back of the shoulder down into the floor, feeling the shoulder and the back, and then a nice big healthy twist, a little rotation. One more time on this side. And from this one, let's go back to all fours, and we'll thread the needle on the other side. So reach under, drop the back of the shoulder down, Getting that stretch for a couple seconds and then rotating the body, opening up that arm, and then right back down. Couple more times on this side. Last time. And then we're going to come to a seated position. Hands braced behind you, feet on the floor, and I want you to cross one leg over, feeling that hip stretch. So I've got my ankle crossed over just above my knee. I'm trying to actively push my knee away from my body as I sit up as close as I can. Let's try the other side. Pushing that knee away. Feeling that stretch in that hip of the crossed over leg. Really getting as close as I can. That will make the stretch more intense. And then I'm going to release those legs and I'm going to straighten out one leg and I'm going to twist. So I'm going to try to cap, my belly makes this one hard, but you guys get the idea. You're going to cap the elbow outside of that knee and twist. And then let's try the other side. And then let's go into a straddle sit. So nice and wide. And we're just going to lean forward. So we want to keep those legs wide, but we want to lean into it, feeling that stretch in the inner thighs and the hips. And if it doesn't quite feel intense enough, you can always walk those legs out a little bit further to the side. Let's come on up, but stay in that straddle, and let's do a side bend. So feeling great on that oblique and that back. And then let's try the other side. And let's come back to the center and let's just take both feet together. Push yourself forward into a little crouch. Let's straighten the legs. Take a nice deep breath there. Gentle bend in the knees and very, very slowly roll yourself up. That was stretch series 1. I will see you in the next one.